What's going on, guys? Your boy Fluff here, and
your girl Giggles.
That's my intro. So as a lot of you guys know, we are headed to Vietnam in roughly, what?
About 34 days?
34 days. So we have basically no experience travel vlogging, and we plan to vlog all of Vietnam. So in preparation for this, we decided to take a weekend trip and vlog the whole thing.
It was great.
It didn't go quite as we expected it to, and a lot of fails happened along the way, but
let's check it out.
Nice entry.
Thank you. Today we're gonna try to ride 6+ hours. Lindsay's never done more than 2.
Through whatever it takes to get to the
2.5, 3. I haven't done it in over a year and a half, so I need the reminder myself. So we're gonna head down to the Ozarks National Forest.
We're geared up.
Geared up, ready to go.
How far is it?
About 6 hours. Let's go.
That's what I'm saying. That's how I do it. Sit rep.
Sit rep. We're in Lafayette.
Scoot over. Ham Trees grilled cheese.
Yeah.
Yummies.
Good.
We're in Fayetteville. Fayetteville, Arkansas. It's game day.
Yeah.
And let me see inside that. What is there? We've got
Cheese, obviously.
bacon,
Pork. Bacon.
barbecue sauce,
Jalapeno.
and then I don't know what I have. I just said, what's the best one? I want that one.
Which brings us to failure number 1. Our best camera, which is the Sony RX100 Mark III, Lindsay's camera, our primary video recording device, had an issue.
Thank you for being so kind with your words. I actually was the issue, per usual, as you will find out on these vlogs. But I was cleaning out our SD cards to prep for this trip and to prep for Nam, be ready. We have a 64 gigabyte card that was supposed to be in said camera. It was replaced with my 1 gigabyte card from years ago, probably. That sucked because then we only got like 7 videos.
7 videos.
On our camera.
Memory card full after 7 videos. And we're 3 hours into the trip at this point, so there's really no turning back. But, fret not, we had the backup GoPro camera ready to go. The trip continues.
Fail number 2.
So virtually every trip Lindsay and I have ever been on, we brought with us the GoPro Hero 4 Silver. It's a great camera. I always just keep it in my pocket, bust it out, take some shots, put it right back in the pocket. It's what I shot all the Trip in a Minute videos with. Self-plug, check them out. But for the first time ever, we decided to bring with us the waterproof housing. The problem with the waterproof case is that basically no sound whatsoever enters into the waterproof case. So as we're doing our best to vlog for the first time and talking into the camera, describing where we are, what we're doing, what it's like, none of it can be made out whatsoever. There's just no sound. So.
0 sound. But the good thing is that we needed the waterproof housing because we're going to one of my favorite parts of the trip, which was Kings River Falls.
When things are good, I don't believe that they're for real. I really wish I could just tell myself I gotta feel something else instead. 'Cause lately
Luckily, thanks to the powers of post-production, a little narration can make up for the GoPro failure. And as much as we wanted to just chill and hang out at Kings River Falls for like the rest of the trip, unfortunately we were in a race against the clock to not only find a campsite, but set up camp before nightfall. Fortunately for us, only after about 25 minutes of riding, we were able to find this great secluded farmland campsite on top of a hill overlooking some Ozark Valley, where we basically had just enough time to set up camp and check out this absolutely stunning sunset. Fail number 3.
So, as you know, this trip was to prepare for our future trip to Vietnam in November, and being as unprepared as possible for this trip was part of it. I was kind of wanting to overpack or overanalyze. That's what I do. And I want to be super prepared for anything. But we aren't going to be that way in Vietnam. So I was kind of like, hey, jackets. Should we bring jackets? Rain jackets? Okay. Bath towel.
No.
Toothbrush.
Hell no.
Water bottles.
No.
Snacks.
No.
I get hangry.
None of it.
But that was the point.
So we just finished setting up camp and realized we had a problem.
We have no drinking water.
No water whatsoever. So we did the logical thing, got right back on the bike.
Backtrack.
Went back to the nearest town, which was about 45 minutes away. Problem is,
Gas station is super closed.
everything's shut down. Super small town.
I Google on my phone, nearest gas station. Everything is closed after 5 p.m. in the next 10, 15 minutes in any direction. So we get to drive all the way back
Basically
to
to Fayetteville,
Yeah.
which was about 2.5 hours away. And the temperature is plummeting by the second. So it's just getting colder and colder and colder. And we finally make it there. We stock up on water. We get some snacks because we know we're going to encounter the same thing the next day. We get some food. We head back.
Fuel up. Yeah.
Fuel up, head back. Temperature's still dropping, getting colder and colder.
I'm shivering.
Absolutely miserable at this point. However, this brings us to fail number 4. Notice that we're just talking about this and there's nothing popping up on the screen whatsoever. It's because none of this, not a single clip exists of this. So one of the key points in our storytelling, if you will, is just up to the imagination.
Really?
Just imagine darkness. Imagine us shivering. Okay. And
Scary things popping up on
almost
the motorcycle.
hitting things
I
on the
don't
road.
really know. Maybe a dead animal.
It
We're not
was a
really
lump.
sure.
We couldn't tell what it was.
Could
There
have
was
been a dead
something in the
body.
road.
We're not sure.
Which, unfortunately, brings us into fail number 5. As we're doing this, one of my headlights goes out. Just at random. And it is like pitch black.
There are no street
Black and
lights.
black.
It's forest.
No city lights anywhere. So one headlight, it's
On a
pretty
motorcycle.
it's pretty grim. It's looking pretty grim
And
right
I'm
now.
shivering.
Yeah, we're freezing. One headlight. We do finally have our supplies.
We missed our turn.
We missed our turn. We can't find the campsite because it is just pitch black nothingness.
I was just like, I feel like we're going too far. Maybe
So,
turn back.
summing up, trips going great.
Fail number 6.
So, we have our water. We have our supplies. We think, what else could go wrong? It's nighttime. Let's just
Let's go
call
to
it a
bed.
day.
Long day.
Cut our losses. Go to sleep. However, unknowingly, we had set up camp in a pasture
Yes.
full of cows. And
There were some clues. We're sleeping.
we're trying to sleep. Lindsay passes out because
That's what I do.
she grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
She's used to cows.
I'm not really worried about them stampeding or anything. But
She
we
says
are
stampeding.
new.
Okay, so these cows will come up right next to our tent and
They're curious.
they're curious. I get it. But I just hear noises. I didn't know if it was cows.
There are a
Because
lot of
it
them.
would seem like it was always like one rogue cow that would come and inspect the tent. So it sounded like
The
maybe
ballsy
normal
one.
footsteps. So I'm thinking, it's the farmer that owns the farm. He's got a shotgun. And he's like, I don't like trespassers on my lawn. And just going to blow us to bits. Or, Jack the Ripper
Could happen.
wanting to just slash
We
us to
did
pieces.
see a dead body. No.
We saw a lump, and it could have been a dead body. So I'm thinking the absolute worst. Absolutely. And they did stampede. Like, every single time one would come close to the tent, they would all like, okay, let's stampede together. And they'd all go crazy. And it was just like, we're going to get run over by like these 7-ton cows all around us. But apparently they don't do that. But I had no idea.
I was totally chill.
She was
sleeping.
Out. So finally, maybe 5 hours into the night, I didn't get a wink of sleep. I start to be like, you know what? It is just cows. They're just curious. No big deal. And I start to like reach this inner zen until Lindsay.
I suddenly, I don't know if I've come out of REM sleep, but I hear this rustling and I'm like, Vaughn!
Yeah. So basically all the noises I heard before,
there is someone
I was now
out there.
worried about them again.
I think it's
and
the
so
farmer.
literally I didn't get an ounce of sleep all night. Regardless of the cows crushing all hopes of sleep, the next morning we shoved down a quick and healthy breakfast and got back on the road. After driving over some rough terrain for seemingly hours, it was time to give our bodies a break and do a little hiking to Whitaker Point.
Do you know how far it is?
Nope.
3 to 6 miles.
10 to 15.
3 to 6 miles.
Let's go.
Here we go.
Fail number 7.
Road conditions. They were unexpectedly rough. As popular as these locations were in Arkansas that we went to Whitaker's Point the second day of our trip. Super popular. You look it up, lots of people, lots of photos. But the road conditions were unexpectedly rough. Gravel the whole way, bumpy, literally the roughest ride I've probably ever been on.
Maybe like a 60-degree incline.
Probably.
I've been on inclines that heavy before, but never with this much load on my bike. And so basically we're going down this incline and the back tire is just like spinning out. Mm-hmm. My hands are getting just like unbelievably tired from holding the clutch in, holding the brake in, stopping multiple times just to give them a rest. And we finally make it to the end of this road. And no sooner did we make it literally to the end, just got into the flat piece, that my rear brake completely goes out. And if you guys have any idea how a rear brake works on a motorcycle, I mean, you get some resistance when you press down the pedal, and you could go like all the way. There was nothing there. It was completely shot out as soon as we got down the hill. And if that had gone out, if that had gone out any earlier than that, we would have been effed.
Toast. No way.
Yeah, I would have to go down by myself, and she would have walked it, or not even that. I don't even know if it could handle my weight with just the front brake. It was bad. The Ozarks had one last view to share with us before heading back north towards home. However, unknown to Lindsay, we had a surprise stop-and-store in what could only be described as like a strange mini country/family version of Vegas, Branson, Missouri. Pull us down first.
It does?
No.
You have to pull us down?
I think so.
No.
ice cream?
Yeah. We were nearing the end of the trip and needed some quick food to fill our tanks, so in Springfield, Missouri, we stopped at a place I thought might help settle the score between me and the cows that robbed me of my sleep the night before.
Compare it to like your aunt. Put your thumb next to it.
Sit rep. Springfield, Missouri, most dangerous city. My shit.
It looks pretty dangerous. Look at everybody. Danger.
Thugs. Straight thugs. Blackberry alcoholic milkshake.
It looks super fresh.
It's good.
We're at the Black Sheep. This is a waffle
That's
mac and
basically
cheese.
I like Vivet here.
Sure. I got the what the doctor ordered. It's the Dr. Pepper slow cooked pork and an egg on top. I want to see you eat that.
I can't do that.
Can't?
2 hours later, and after 2 full days of riding, we made it home.
We made it. We are home. My butt cheeks hurt. My lower back hurts. My knees started hurting. Actually, my ankles hurt a little bit more than my knees. What about you?
My knees hurt. A
Bad.
lot. Like really bad. I'm getting older. For sure. My left shoulder, which has always kind of been an issue. Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
I mean, on the last trips, there's literally just a point where you're just like, everything hurts.
You don't hurt anymore.
And it's just like, this is normal. But yeah, the rear brake went out, headlight went out. Street bike's not meant to do what we just did.
But we did it anyway.
Even through all the failures, we still accomplished what we set out to do. To roll with the punches, prepare for the unpreparable, adapt. It's easy to get caught up in everything that's going wrong, instead of embracing the moments that are going right, or experiencing the right now. And although Vietnam on a motorcycle is much larger an undertaking, and undoubtedly riddled with more failures, we're looking forward to them.